Dools!
Has
Venom 2 officially has a title, Avengers Endgame scored a massive profit, and Last of Us 2 is officially coming out in June. But until then, Dools, just roll the intro! Welcome, one and all, to another episode of the More Cops on Duty podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Harry. With me, of course, is the Steve Rogers to my Tony Stark, Edward. Dools, Dooley, Dools, how are you doing this fine day?
Has, mate. Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing all right. Good to be here. Happy to be here. How are you?
I'm good. We're going up on about a month of recording these remotely. Not going too badly, don't you think?
No, I think, I don't know. One could make the case that the quality's improved, perhaps. I don't know. Well, output's improved. We're doing 2 a week now. So,
yeah,
more isn't always better, but more is more. That's what they say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How are you finding lockdown so far this week?
Yeah, not bad. I mean, as we've gone over a million times, like, it's really not too taxing on people like us. I've got so many games to play, so many TV shows and movies to watch. Like, it's just like it's really, and because again, like, we're in a somewhat fortunate position compared to many others where we're able to work from home, and so life is mostly uninterrupted. So yeah, it's just one of these moments that we got to relish and just really tear through those backlogs, which is what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Got a massive backlog of games. I've started to watch some stuff as well, like attack my my backlog on terms of TV and film. But Dools, until we get to that, let's say an average Joe just stumbles upon the podcast onto Spotify and thinks, "What?"
I'd stop him right in his tracks, and I'd say, "What are you doing here, sir? Don't come to me. Go to my main man Has. He'll sort you out. Sort him out, Has. Sort him out."
More Cops on Duty is internet's #1 film, game, and TV podcast. We record and publish every Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday, your main show. Friday, your discussion review show for all your banter, entertainment goodness. You can find us everywhere on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Instagram, Twitter, and now officially YouTube.
I'm pretty sure iTunes is null these days. I don't think it exists anymore.
So it's now just Apple Podcasts, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just Apple Podcasts, yeah.
Well,
there you go.
Thanks for ruining it to me, Dools. Thank you. But we like to start off each and every show with what we've been playing, what we've been watching, Dools. Do you want to start us off?
You know what, Has? I'm going to throw it to you this week, mate. I'm a generous kind of guy, and kick us off.
You are a generous guy, Dools. You are. Not much in terms of playing. I'm still going through Control. Really liking it.
Wow.
I'm playing a couple hours a week. Just majority of my game time is just basically on Call of Duty, if I'm being honest. Like, I got a squad. We squad up every night, and it's a lot of fun. That's what we do. But I'm loving Control. The story's fucking weird, but the gameplay, like, every time I play it, I'm having a blast. But in terms of film, I've been tackling some film and TV lately, Dools. Extraction, Chris Hemsworth's new Netflix film. I watched that on the weekend. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't. I'll definitely get to it very soon.
Yep.
Worth it? Should I watch it?
Yeah, absolutely worth it. So it's directed by the fight choreographer of Endgame, Infinity War, and Civil War.
Oh, cool.
And it's written by Joe Russo, and it's produced by the Russo brothers. And the story, you can take it or leave it. It's a very stock standard Extraction sort of story. If you've seen the trailer, you know exactly what's going to happen in the fucking movie. But the action is exceptional. Like, there's a couple of scenes where I'm like, holy shit, Chris Hemsworth is the Australian John Wick.
Whoa.
Like,
be cool.
Like, I know, but like, just some of the ways that the action is done, it's awesome. It's a fun-filled ride. It's definitely worth. You're only paying a subscription to Netflix. It's definitely worth your time, 110%. I've officially started season 2 of Westworld Duels, 2 episodes in.
It's only taken however long it's taken, a long time. But where
I know,
are we up
I
to?
know, but I'm end of episode 2.
So you would have? Did you watch like a little season 1 recap? I feel like you would. You must.
Yes.
You definitely would have had to. And even then, it probably didn't help that much. I'm guessing.
No, you kind of piece it together. Like all the confusion was in season 1. I feel where you're like, what the fuck is this place? But then like after you get over it's like a real life Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, okay, that's how you kind of get hooked. But all the time jumps and stuff, I'm still concentrated on it. I can still tell. Like I'm following along, but I'm liking it a lot so far. I'm quite hooked, so I'll definitely.
Good to hear.
I should be able to get up to date before season 3 ends. Should be no problem. But yeah, no, loving it so far, Dools. I'm loving it so far. I also watched, and I believe you did as well, Afterlife season 2 dropped last week. I don't want to speak on your behalf, Dools, but I'm a big fan of the first season. I thought it was great. I thought it was a massive surprise when it came out. A big Ricky Gervais fan, and this was like Ricky Gervais in a nutshell, this entire show. It's all about just just being a dickhead to everybody, like for the sake of it. You got nothing left to lose in this life. That's what his role was in the first season. But I was frankly really disappointed with the second season, Dools. How did you feel?
Yeah, similarly has. I really liked the first season a lot as well. I'm not like a Ricky Gervais fan. Like I appreciate him, I enjoy his work, but I'm not like when's the next Ricky Gervais special or TV show or anything like that. I'm not, eagerly waiting for whatever it is next that he's doing.
You appreciate him.
But Afterlife season 1, yeah, as you said, was a genuine surprise, and it was heartfelt, funny, sad, just kind of nailed just a really emotional and thoughtful comedic drama, I guess, and not drama, but kind of, and it was very short lived, and you could argue, oh, if only there was more, and well, I guess you got to be careful for what you wish for, because season 2 was like, it was exactly that. It was just more of season 1. It didn't feel like a progression of the story. It just felt like DLC to a video game. It was just like, it's there if you want it, but you don't need to watch it.
I felt like it kind of ruined a bit of the ending of the first season as well.
Oh, 100%.
Because he made all these massive steps, like emotionally in life, and of his character, and then that's just all taken back within the first 5 minutes of the episode.
So yeah, exactly, and not only that, it kind of like does a soft reset of the character. It feels like, because he's grown over the course of season 1, and he's had these experiences, and he's. You see him interact with people, and you see him grow over the course of these few episodes. And then it feels like a complete retreading of that in this new season. His relationship with one specific character, which I think I know who you're talking about, seems to go back to where it was at the start the first, and then it kind of ends up exactly where it was again at the end of this new season, where it was at the end of the first season. It was honestly very bizarre to watch. I was like, what was he thinking? Like writing this, like it just felt like he took season 1's script and kind of went through it and right clicked on every second word and looked at the synonyms in Microsoft Word. It was like, all right, let's just make it a bit little bit different, but not too different. So I agree. Look, it was still a bit of fun. I mean, if you like the first season, I still think it's worth your time, but don't expect any real interesting plot development or character development, because it just feels like all one season. See, if that was the thing, if it was all one season, I'd look on it much more fondly.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. Because I was really looking forward to it. Like, it's still got some moments that are hilarious. Like, in terms of comedy, it's awesome.
Ricky Gervais is still hilarious. Like, he knows how to write good comedy.
Yeah, like, it's still hilarious. It's a great season in terms of comedy, but in terms of like the overall story and like how I just felt like it disrespected the first season for me, which is disappointing. But it's only 6 episodes. We live on, Dools. We live on. I also started the MCU with my roommate. First time he's watched the MCU, so we're watching Iron Man 2 tonight. He's loving it so far.
How does one... Like, I feel like you'd have to go out of your way. He's never seen a single Marvel film?
He saw like Iron Man 1 back in 2008.
Wow, even then, it's incredible how someone would manage to avoid watching any of the Avengers films or even Guardians of the Galaxy entered mainstream quite a bit. And anyway, each to their own. Where are you guys up to so far?
So I kind of fucked up the order of the first phase.
Uh-oh.
So we watched Iron Man, but it doesn't really matter because they're all just like the first phase before Avengers is just all single movies.
You did Iron Man 2 before Incredible Hulk?
We didn't do Incredible Hulk because it's not on Disney Plus, unfortunately. So we did Iron Man, then we did.
But you would have a
Captain
copy
America.
somewhere. You've watched it in previous binges.
Don't have it. Yeah, probably, but like it is what it is.
You got to watch it, Has. I won't allow it. It's underrated.
We will, don't worry. We will. I think it's on Stan, so I was gonna somehow get a Stan account. But we watched Iron Man and we've seen Captain America, and tonight we're watching Iron Man 2. Then we're doing Thor and Incredible Hulk or whatever order it is. Then, and then we're gonna go Avengers, and then just to by whatever order it is after that.
Yeah, things really I like Phase 1 quite a bit. I think Thor isn't amazing. It's all right. I still really enjoy First Avenger, Captain America. I think it's.
I watched it last night.
I think it ages like a fine wine. That film. I like it. I like it with each subsequent viewing. I like it even more.
I absolutely agree.
And it was one of those Marvel films which everyone kind of looked at the time, and I see this exact same opinion as well. That like every time people go, "Oh shit, I actually forgot how good the first one was," because of how good Winter Soldier and Civil War are that you kind of go like, well, Captain America one's not that good, but and that's why Ragnarok people froth over because Dark World was horrible. So and then of course there's the egregious Iron Man 3. But that's cool. That'd be fun actually to kind of like experience. It would feel like watching it for the first time again. Because I bet you're loving just doing all the. Oh, by the way, pay attention to this. It's going to pay off down the track. Are you that person?
That's like I don't point anything out, but he does. He's a smart kid. He pays attention to everything, and he calls shit out. Like they were making. In Captain America, Zola? No, Schmidt.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Oh yeah,
Schmidt. Schmidt was making the weapons of from the Tesseract, and it's all blue and shit. And Eddie's just like, oh, is this from the arc reactor in Tony's lab? And I was just like, fuck, he's paying attention, but it's not at all. But like he's paying attention.
So maybe he's not paying attention. No.
But he's loving it so far. So we're gonna watch Iron Man 2 tonight, hopefully, and I'll probably get his opinion in on the podcast after every phase. Maybe bring in like a ranking of where he's seeing everything so far, and after every phase, redo the rankings.
Yeah. So bring him in. I bring him in after Avengers 1. You'd have to imagine Avengers 1 will be the favorite, but who knows? Maybe Iron Man. Maybe.
Right, he's loving Iron Man at the moment. He's loving Iron Man. So Iron Man 2, he's keen. He's very keen. But Dools, let's just get into the news of the week. Give me a jingle. Nice. Dools, let's start off with something big. Venom 2 officially has a title. Did you see this?
I did.
Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Good title. I like it, dude. I like it.
Good title. I'm almost sold on the film. Almost.
So there's a few variables which actually have me cautiously optimistic about Venom. Let There Be Carnage. Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy, alias Carnage, who is a classic symbiote villain in the Spider-Man universe. Second, Andy Serkis signing on to direct.
Andy Serkis.
Yep. I'm not sure who's writing. It may be the same writer as the first one, so that's still a little bit concerning.
I'll check for you.
But we'll see. And also now with the more or less confirmation that the Sony Spider-Man films will intersect or have, depending on which way you look at it, have already intersected with Marvel Spider-Man. So the MCU, meaning Kevin Feige has a bit more involvement. And so I think
Kelly Marcel is writing it. She did the first one.
Okay, well
she also did Saving Mr. Banks.
Yeah, so we'll see. But So, if rumors are to be believed, Tom Holland could have a cameo or maybe an extended appearance in this film. We're not sure. Or maybe he could be. Maybe his appearance could set up an appearance for Venom in Spider-Man 3. But so Kevin Feige's extended involvement kind of tells me, well, I think his oversight, his creative input will hopefully steer things in a better direction, especially if he's kind of have to, if he has to, make the concession that these films have to be loosely involved in the MCU, then he's going to, I imagine he'll kind of put his fist down and be like, well, then we're doing it my way, so to speak.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think the one thing Venom did do quite well. Oh, and also I think another thing was they couldn't use the big white symbiote logo on Venom himself in the first film because of Marvel's property ownership over that. But now they might be able to. And so I think we might see a more comic accurate looking Venom, even though I actually think he already looked pretty good. And the same with Carnage. So I think, I've always wanted to see Carnage on the big screen. So I can't help but be a little bit excited for that, despite the fact that I was not really impressed with Venom 1 in the slightest.
I didn't like Venom 1 at all. At all.
It had a few redeeming qualities. I mean, Tom Hardy was fine. The action was decent. As I said, Venom looked pretty good, but yeah, there was a lot left to be desired. But yeah, I don't know. I'm slightly optimistic, and obviously the title is dope.
Title is dope, Dools. Title is dope. I agree. I'm optimistic, but we'll see. I like Andy Serkis. I think he can do something different, hopefully. And even with Kevin Feige in, it might give him a little bit more of direction towards something, usable.
Oh, and I should quickly add the thing I was referring to, and as to why it looks like the Sony Spider-Man films and Marvel and MCU are connected now is in the Morbius trailer, I believe it was.
Morbius trailer.
You see Jared Leto walking down a street, and there's a poster of Spider-Man. Although some people did point out that it was like an image of the Spider-Man, like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. Yeah. So it's a little weird, but I mean, it could be a throwaway thing. We don't really know, but I mean, still, that's a thing now. And oh no, hold on, shit, no, it wasn't someone. Oh, I'll have to double check this, but I actually think there was an actual character in the Morbius trailer as well.
Yeah, there was. It was Vulture.
Oh yeah, shit. Oh yeah. It was Michael Keaton. There it is. That's the one. Yeah, okay, and so okay, now it's coming back to me. So yeah, so everyone thinks they're setting up the Sinister Six for 3,
which will be cool.
Yeah,
if they do it properly, and that's why you bring in Kevin Feige. He's the Godfather, dude. Just let him do his thing. Speaking of Kevin Feige, Dools, I tell you what, Marvel and Disney over there, particularly Disney, they'd be pretty happy at the moment, Dools, because Avengers Endgame has officially brought them in $900 million of profit.
Wow.
That's after budget, that's after advertising, after marketing, after paying the cast and crew, paying the producers, director, everything. Done, $900 million profit.
So how much did it make again? It made 2.7 billion? 2.8?
Around then, yeah.
So the film, including marketing, was however
plus cast and crew.
Yeah, but isn't that always accounted for in the budget? Like the budget was like 200 million or something.
Yeah, but I don't think that would have been accounted for this budget, though.
It's only made a profit of 900 million? That seems low.
Profit, that's after taxes and everything. Got to think of taxes as well.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely not an expert in this area, but I mean, just considering it made 2.7, it's like, Jesus, the film costs a lot more than I realised then.
Yeah. You also got to take into taxes and stuff, though.
I mean, so, yeah, shit. So, I mean, God, no wonder Solo lost money.
Yeah, Solo lost a lot of money.
Yeah, wow.
They ain't doing a Solo 2, I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, it's a shame. Although, at the time, when he was being interviewed, I don't think he meant to let it slip, but Alden Ehrenreich, or however you say his name, who played young Han Solo, kind of let it slip that he'd signed on for 3. So, I don't know whether he appears in TV series or otherwise. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting, Dools. Let's go into something a little more I don't know, funny. Pete Davidson's film King of Staten Island is the first Universal film to skip theatres and go straight to demand.
Woo!
Judd Apatow is producing it, I believe. Have you seen the trailer? It looks good. It looks like
I
how
haven't.
Bo Burnham did 8th grade.
Okay. I still haven't seen that. I know you said it was good. To be honest, I don't know. I was kind of been off this Pete Davidson dude. I mean, isn't he a bit of a... I mean, I don't know. Isn't he like a very unlikable dude from what I understand? Like he's just like...
I don't know. I think
I just remember him... the main thing that sticks out to me about that dude is that I remember after Mac Miller passed away, he made some really tasteless comments, and you know he was also notorious for having married. This dude also only came into the fucking spotlight because he married Ariana Grande. No one knew
engaged. He didn't marry
who he was before that.
He was engaged.
No one. I think didn't they get married though?
Nope.
Okay, just engaged.
I knew who he was for years. He was like the king of SNL.
I loosely knew who he was, but I mean, dude, like, but it's only because I'm entrenched in pop culture and shit. But I mean, no one really like he was a cast member on SNL, but not everyone can name specific SNL cast members, especially today. But no, he really only became like a person in headlines and you know like a name when it was found. Oh shit! Look at Ariana Grande's new fiance. And then, of course, he made those tasteless comments about Mac Miller, and I don't know. That's just like there's crude humor, but also being witty about it. Like Anthony Jeselnik is good at it. Daniel Tosh can be alright at it. Like you know, some people can find that balance. This guy's just always struck me as a loser. So, in response to this film, probably not going to watch it.
I like Pete Davidson. I'm a pretty big Pete Davidson fan. I think his comedy's great. He does do like
hanging
straight up, straight up, Dools. I think you're. Like, I respect your opinion. I completely disagree with it.
You disagree with the fact that he disrespected Mac Miller?
No, when you said that he doesn't do the comedy as good as Jeselnik or Tosh.
Oh, you think he's better than Anthony Jeselnik?
I think he's up there. Yeah. I think he's fucking hilarious, and he does it with his delivery. I think is one of the best in the comedy scene at the moment, and
one of the best.
I like him. I don't. His delivery. No, I'm not saying his comedy is, but his delivery of jokes is one of the best. Yeah.
Sure, it's not just the accent.
That's part of the delivery for sure. That's got to be part of the delivery. But I'm a big fan of him. I'll watch this 100%. But yeah, no, I think he's great. You should watch his latest Netflix special. I think it's hilarious. And he's on all the roasts. All the roasts are awesome whenever he's on. He literally kills when he's on. Every single roast. He did one for Rob Lowe a couple of months ago, and I thought it was so fucking funny. But yeah, till then, Dools, let's talk about Tenet. Tenet is sticking to its July release date, but another article came out where he got misquoted there, where he goes, Tenet will come out in July or whenever theatres reopen.
Okay. See, I wonder
if theatres are open July, it's coming out. If it's not, it's getting delayed.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, well, I guess they're playing it by ear. I'm very eager to see it. I think we played a hypothetical last week, like would we rent Tenet if it came out on VOD? I think that if it did... So, if it did and then we knew it wasn't going to come to cinemas for maybe another 6 months... Well, that just wouldn't happen. See if it came to VOD, first of all, this wouldn't happen. They wouldn't do this with a Chris Nolan.
It's not coming to VOD.
Chris Nolan wouldn't allow it. But
it's not coming to VOD.
If it did,
this is all hypothetical. It's definitely not.
Did, but say it was still going to come to cinemas in say a month, I think I'd wait. I'd just wait because it's a month. But
I can wait a month.
But yeah, I mean, it would be such a disservice to that film because I mean he's always the guy films on IMAX cameras and he's all about spectacle and even just from the trailers you can see it's just going to be another visual masterpiece. So yeah, definitely a film for the cinemas. I don't know about us. I mean I can see the States. I mean some states in the US I think their cinemas will probably be open at the time. Other places like New York, etc. I mean it's harder to say. As for us, yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, it's they've speculated that pubs and things won't probably open till September. So cinema is slightly different. I imagine they'll still have some rules like, everyone's got a seat, like friends a seat apart, other people 2 seats apart, maybe something like that. I don't know. So it's definitely going to make getting tickets difficult. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, July. I mean, hopefully, I think it's possible.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited. I think this movie looks great. I'm probably going to watch all of Nolan's before it as well, just do a little bit of a filmography binge. I think that'll be cool to review as well, Dools. What do you reckon?
Pardon?
To go through all Nolan's filmography and just like review.
Yeah. Well, I recently watched Interstellar, and it actually did kind of make me want to revisit things. I mean, I've seen the Dark Knight trilogy countless times, but his other films, like I haven't seen Dunkirk again since it came out, and I haven't seen Inception in a while. Memento, Prestige, yeah, I could definitely see myself going down that rabbit hole.
It'll be fun. I think we should do it. Dool's last item on the news list: Last of Us 2 Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima have officially got new release dates, and they're damn closer than we originally thought. Dool's Last of Us coming out in June. Ghost has been moved to July. What do you think?
Finally, we have a release date. So, so they've pretty much swapped. Well, Ghost has swapped its date with Last of Us. The Last of Us obviously was originally meant to come out at the end of May, and before that, it was meant to come out at the end of February. So this is the third and hopefully final delay for this game. And it's obvious. It's an extremely reactionary response because another big news item is that huge chunks of the game were leaked online yesterday. Now, one can only speculate as to the source of the leak, but I think it's pretty obvious. It's a disgruntled employee, especially seeing as not even a couple of weeks ago, there was a big story kind of detailing crunch at Naughty Dog and kind of like a culture where a peer pressure kind of like mandates a lot of activity in there, where it's if you're not a team player, then you don't want the company to succeed, you don't want them to put out good games, and so there's just a lot of pressure internally for everyone to stay behind and crunch and all that. Because while crunch is not a mandatory thing in any game studio, and if it is, I'm sure it'd be quickly discovered, but because you can't force your employees to stay there over time without pay or anything, but a lot of them do pay overtime. But it's if you see the person next to you crunching, and you're not doing it, then you're just going to feel bad, or you'll feel guilty, and so it's kind of like this cascading effect that it has ripples across the entire company. And so that's just largely what the problem of crunch is, and it's not exclusive to Naughty Dog. It's there was a big expose on Rockstar Games around the time Red Dead came out and all that kind of stuff. But so clearly an employee with an axe to grind with the leadership there decided, well, fuck this, I'm going to spite you guys, and things haven't improved even since the story came out. I'm just speculating. And so the dude decided to leak all this stuff. The problem is, you're not just giving it to Neil Druckmann or Evan, whatever his name is, the president of Naughty Dog. You're also sticking it to your fellow employees. Everyone else has poured their heart and soul into this game.
Agreed.
And then you're making
your fans.
You're making all the crunch, all the long hours moot, so to speak. It's just like, well, fuck, like, now you've spoiled this game that we've worked so hard on, and it's just like, now for a lot of people it's been ruined and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so it's a real shame. I'm doing my best to avoid spoilers, muted keywords on Twitter, things like that. Got like a Chrome extension thing, which I have no idea if it works or not, but I guess if I haven't seen anything yet, maybe it's working. Because YouTube will be a tougher one to kind of avoid. But from what I understand, it's a massive leak, and it's pretty much spoiled every significant plot point, and especially some I've heard one described as like something that is just like meant to really throw the player off, and shit, it's just it's pretty big. And so of course, not even a day later, well, I think just under 24 hours later, big PR release from Naughty Dog. here's the new release date. We're really disappointed by this sudden turn of events, etc., and so on. And but my thought is also that you should get something like Ghost of Tsushima, which, look, let's be honest, I haven't played either of these games, but I think it's a pretty safe assumption to say that Ghost of Tsushima probably won't be at Last of Us 2's quality. I'm sure it's going to be unbelievable. I'm sure it's going to be excellent. Sucker Punch are really capable, but this is The Last of Us we're talking about. So I think I personally would have swapped those dates. I would have had The Last of Us be PS4's swan song. I would have had it be the final big title, like similar to the first Last of Us. So I don't know why they just didn't give us Last of Us in June, Ghost of Tsushima in July, but sorry, the other way around. But I don't know. I mean, all in all, it doesn't really matter when they come out. I mean, I just can't wait to play these games. So
maybe Ghost needs that little bit extra polish. Who knows? There might be something in Sucker Punch Studios where they're like, just because of the crunch, the end of crunch, and everyone working from home in that last polish period, maybe we just need an extra month.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I actually think they would have pushed it. I actually think it was probably meant to come out when Last of Us was then scheduled in May or something, because that was only then pushed because The Last of Us was. But I mean, that could easily be the case as well. But who knows? How do you feel about it?
Either way, Dools.
I mean, we've finally got dates. That's the main takeaway for us, at least.
Like it's being released 2 weeks after the original release date of end of May. So
very serendipitous.
That word indefinitely was pretty scary when we first heard of it. It's 2 weeks. Like, we're a month and a half away. Let's just keep off spoilers until then. It'll be a tough month and a half, but I reckon we can do it. And I think Last of Us Part 2 is going to be a masterpiece. I just know.
It's going to be big. It's going to be really big.
I'm gonna finish it probably in a day. It's one of those games I know I'm just not gonna sleep. I'm just gonna play it.
I hear it's going to be quite big, and some sections will be non-linear. So I think we can expect a somewhat big game, probably their biggest to date.
Can't wait. I'm gonna pre-order it. I think either in the next couple of days if it's available on Amazon. Have you been ordering on Amazon real quick, Dools? Have they been reliable
with the exception of one time? I've had every game come day and date. So
awesome.
Yeah, like it might, but times will vary. Like sometimes it's at midday that the package will arrive, or sometimes it's like 6 or 7 p.m. at night. But I mean, it's with the exception of one time every year they've always come on the day.
Awesome. That's the end of the news, Dools.
That's the end of the news. We actually did skip what I've been watching and playing, but that's all right. I mean, in addition to what you've been watching, the big one for me, of course, I'm continuing with Westworld Season 3, but I think the plan is to do a spoiler cast when that has finished. But the big one for me is so Alex Garland, the mastermind behind Ex Machina and Annihilation, has made a limited series called Devs. And without giving too much away, because if I even just start to attempt to explain the story, I'll just have to go into this rabbit hole, which might end up spoiling things. It's a really weird kind of sci-fi story that he's, I guess, now well known for, and creepy, and also kind of satirizes Silicon Valley, similar to what Ex Machina does in a sense. And really strong performances. You got Nick Offerman in there, who plays like this kind of weird, eccentric CEO of a tech conglomerate, who I guess is maybe meant to, I don't know if he's based on anyone, maybe he's got little bits of Zuckerberg in him and Jack Dorsey in him as well. But I mean, it's just so basically surface level plot is, this couple who both work at the company owned by Nick Offerman, which is called Amaya, named after his daughter. One day he's accepted into the very secretive and section of the company, division of the company that no one knows what they're working on, called Devs. and it's in this special building that's slightly off campus as to where the rest of the company is located. And basically, on his first day, he goes in, has his first day there at work, and then he's never seen from again. And his girlfriend kind of then just like it goes down this rabbit hole of conspiracies of what's going on in this company, what's happening at devs, and man, it just like with each episode, it just gets crazier and cooler and more sci-fi, strange or whatever. And yeah, I was hooked, man. Like I finished in like a day and a half, and it's like 8 episodes, like 45, 50-minute episodes, and yeah, really, really good. Like I love Alex Garland's stuff. He knows how to write good sci-fi.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
I'll probably jump on that right after Westworld.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
I'm a big Alex Garland fan, so
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. I thought Ex Machina was one of the best movies in the last 20 years.
I couldn't agree more.
It's exceptional, Dools. Exceptional.
So we got our weekly segment of trivia now. Should I just get right into it?
Do it. What's it called again?
The segment?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You said you were gonna come up with a name, Dools.
Did I?
Yeah, that's all right. Last week it was
Trivia Tuesdays. There you go. That's original.
It's not even okay.
And it doesn't even go live on a Tuesday. This fucking.
Yeah.
All right. So we agreed that we're also going to do themes for each one, and we have to bring a different theme to the table each week.
So last week I did quarantine films, films based around lockdown sort of scenarios and being isolated.
So I was close to kind of doing a mix of games and TV in this, but I think maybe I'll save that for the future. Maybe I'll do game-specific, TV-specific ones. But no, I kept it film-specific for this. So basically, just to prepare you, and I might ask you to actually hands-on head for this, because, obviously no Googling allowed. But, and I know what you like. Oh, yeah, or if you keep your hands in front like that at all times, that's fine. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't trust them. So the theme is, because it's 2020, let's look at films from 20 years ago. So in the year 2000.
Oh.
And you like that, eh?
All in the year 2000?
Every single film in this list, with the exception of one, but there's a caveat to it, is from the year 2000.
Interesting.
So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Give us a jingle.
This is a good theme,
give us a trivia jingle, Haz.
It's a Trivia Tuesday.
Dun, 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 dun. Is that fucking Jeopardy or Price is Right or some shit? You know what I was trying to get at?
Yeah, it's like Jeopardy, isn't it?
Alright, shut the fuck up. Has question one.
Question one.
Robert De Niro. Shut the fuck up.
Starting off with the softball Dools.
Question
Robert
one.
De Niro.
Oh my god, seriously. Robert De Niro plays the to-be father-in-law from hell in this classic comedy.
To be father in hell.
No. Oh yeah.
Is there more to the question?
No. Sorry, I was going to repeat myself because it seemed like there was some confusion. But go ahead. You're about to answer.
Robert De Niro plays the to be father in hell in this 2000s comedy.
Father-in-law from hell. Sorry.
Father-in-law from hell. Meet the Parents.
Correct.
Good one, Dolls. Good one.
Correct.
Good film. Did they know that they were having a baby in the first one?
No. I think it's Meet the Parents that they find that out. Because then the third one, Little Fockers, which is atrocious, is when they have kids and that.
Oh, yeah, true. Cool, yeah, because Little Jack is the cousin. That's right.
Yeah, he's the he's the nephew of his wife or whatever. Question two. Which big time? You don't need to repeat every time. That's gonna throw me off, and I'm probably gonna end up losing it. Which big time director that we all know and love released his second feature film starring Guy Pearce this year? So this year is in 2000.
2000. Fuck.
Yeah. They're all from the year 2000.
What? This is so... Jesus.
Big time has big time director that we all know and love, and it was starring Guy Pearce. So you can extrapolate that he was the lead. So think of really well-known directors that I talk about a lot. And films that have Guy Pearce as the lead. I feel like it's...
Oh, Dools. Guy Pearce has been in a lot of movies.
Yeah, but as the lead though, I mean...
Oh, I'm thinking of Ethan Hawke. Fuck.
Plus, I feel like he's been brought up in a few episodes. I feel like I've given it away. This director's been brought up a fair few times.
Yeah, but it's a movie podcast. We talk about every director.
10, 9, 8.
Oh!
7,
Oh, Chris Nolan.
6.
Memento.
There you go. There you go. So it's not that bad.
Because he had one before that, right? What was the one before that called? It was like...
yeah, I haven't seen it, but yeah, that's why I said second feature film. I thought it was his first one, but yeah.
No, he had one. It was like called Balloons or some bullshit.
Yeah, it was weird.
It's probably great. I've never seen it. It's probably exceptional.
All right, so this is the only answer out
That's a tough question, Dools. That's a really tough
Oh, dude,
question.
if I was asked that, I would be like, okay, Guy Pearce, big time director that we both know and love. Like, I emphasize that we both know and love him. I'd be like, yeah, it's like... Anyway, well, that's just me. I think about Chris Nolan at all times. I'm always thinking about Chris Nolan.
You dream about him.
So this is the only film that didn't come out in 2000, but this is about... So which film won Best Picture at the Oscars in 2000? So this would have come out in 1999.
Good question. See, my heart wants to say American Beauty.
But my mind,
But
my body...
is there any hints with this, Dools?
I mean, it's a Best Picture question. I mean, I don't think you would give me a hint. 10, 9,
Jeez.
8,
Repeat the question.
7. Which film won the Best Picture at the 2000 Oscars? 6, 5,
American Beauty.
4. Correct.
Fuck yes.
Damn, 3 for 3 at the moment. Fucking hell. What was
What was between in my head? It was American Beauty or Gladiator.
Gladiator was next year. Gladiator was next year, yeah. Now this one you might need a guess. But
Okay.
yeah. Out of the following 3 choices, which was the highest grossing film in 2000?
Oh, shit.
A. Gladiator. B. Mission Impossible 2. C. Castaway.
Okay, so
Dun, dun,
let's break this down a bit, Dools. Tom Hanks, huge.
dun, dun,
Mission Impossible, I don't think it is Mission Impossible because it didn't have that big of a name yet. Gladiator was also pretty damn big. Fuck. They're all good. What a year that was.
10. 9. 8.
I'm gonna go
7,
Mission Impossible 2.
6. Fuck, you fucking got it.
I was thinking in my head, I was like, at the end of it, I was just like, no, it's an action movie that goes to every audience.
Yep.
And I'm like, Castaway and Gladiator.
And it's Tom Cruise, man. It's Tom Cruise. Because I'm pretty sure that first Mission Impossible did quite well. All right, good job.
These are good questions, Dools. They're fucking hard, but they're good questions.
I mean, dude, like, look, I'll be honest. Like, yeah, that fourth one, it's definitely a guess. But I think you've got the only one that would have to be a straight up guess so far. So the rest are like just pure knowledge. Question 5. Kevin Feige got his first producer credit on this Marvel film.
Shit.
Dun,
Okay,
dun.
Hulk was 2004.
3.
What was 2000? Was it 2003? What was 2000? What was before that? Daredevil? No.
10. 9.
No, I'm going to get this one wrong.
7. 6.
Wait. What Marvel movies were released then?
4. 3. 2.
Spider-Man.
X-Men.
Fuck, of course.
Close. I think Spider-Man was 2002.
Yeah.
Not too bad, Has. Not too bad. That's all right. So
It's
you
not
are
alright, Dools.
you are 4 for 5. That's pretty good. 90% so far. That's pretty good.
Should have been 100. Should have thought that through.
Has question 6. This
Give it to me.
this director, who has only recently been thrust into stardom, had his directorial debut this year.
With what? Or are you just saying directorial debut?
No. I'm asking who the director is. So his recent...
Fuck you, Dools.
Okay. No. Listen to the question. Has recently been thrust into stardom. The director himself.
Taika Waititi?
Is that your guess?
One was boy. No, he's in his 30s, isn't he, Taika?
Well, I mean, Taika.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's my guess, yeah.
Incorrect. It's Bong Joon-ho, who released the film Barking Dogs Never Bite.
Fuck you, Dools. There is no chance you would have actually fucking got that.
Okay, the director who won like 4 of the biggest awards at the Oscar this year, recently thrust into stardom, probably would have been my first guess.
He wasn't recently thrust into stardom. He's been huge in Korea, and he did Snowpiercer.
Dude, come on. He's only just entered the mainstream. Yeah, because like we've always been watching these Korean films. Come on. You barely knew who he was.
Dools.
That's a fair question. I'm not taking any bullshit on that. You got it wrong. Fair and square. Alright, now this one's a little bit easier. Watched countless times in PE class at school. How could you forget me? I am...
What?
Oh, come on. Watched countless times in PE class at school. How could you forget me? I am... blank. Film title.
Watched countless times in PE.
Dude, there's only like one movie that we watched all the time. Without fail. Plus, there's a little hint at the end there. How could you forget me?
Fuck.
10. 9. 8.
Countless times in PE.
7.
Last time I had a PE class was 2008, Dools.
What? We had PE till like year 10, 11, didn't we?
No, that was electives. I didn't do it.
Or even in
So it might have been in your PE class, but it wasn't in mine.
Oh, I could have sworn we had to do PE till like year 10, man.
No, we had electives from year 9.
Even PE theory?
Yeah, even PE 3.
5.
Fuck.
4.
Can I get a hint on anything here?
The hint was at the end of the question. How could you forget me? What's the antonym of forget?
Remember?
3, 2, 1.
I don't know.
Remember the Titans.
It
was like we watched it all the time in PE class.
I've never watched that in a PE class.
Really? Fuck, man. I thought it was an obvious one.
Wow.
All right. Sorry. Guess it's the wording on that one.
that was a shit question.
Honestly, like it was like a running joke all the time throughout school. It's just like, we go into PE and he'd be like, all right, so we're watching a movie today. He'd be like, remember the Titans? He's like, oh, how'd you? It was like, dude, we'd watch it a few times a year at least, like multiple times.
To be fair, it's a great film.
All right. Sorry, Haz. I could maybe give you a bonus, but no, we won't have time. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the full name of Russell Crowe's character in Gladiator?
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Correct.
Father of a murdered son, husband of a murdered wife, and I shall...
Very good.
This life or next. I shall have my vengeance in this life or next. That's it.
All right, shut up, you fucking nerd. Has question 9. I am officially the highest grossing stop motion animated film in history, with a sequel en route. Who am I?
2000. I want to say Chicken Run. I also want to say Wallace and Gromit.
Which one? Which is the second one?
Wallace and Gromit.
Ooh. Highest grossing stop motion animated film in history. With the sequel
Run,
on route.
Oh, but Chicken Run 2 didn't have it. Didn't happen, did it? But there was... Wallace and Gromit, I think, was in the 90s, and I think they did one in 2003 with Curse the Were-Rabbit. It's funny how I know it, isn't it?
10.
What other stop motions are there?
5.
What other stop motions?
One.
I don't know. Wallace and Gromit.
Chicken Run, man.
It was. Well, is there a Chicken Run 2?
It's been announced. Yeah, it's coming out.
Oh, Dools.
You were there. You were there. You were thinking it. You didn't commit. I'm a little disappointed, if I'm being completely honest.
We'll look up this Chicken Run 2 action.
All right. Quickly look up Chicken Run 2, see if I'm full of shit.
It's supposed to come out in 2019, Dools.
Well, it's been announced. It still says it's an upcoming film.
I can't wait to do trivia again to you.
Dude,
What movie starring a man was released in 1988?
All right, dude. Filming on October 16, 2019, the film officially began production. I mean, come on. All right. Has last question. You might find this also. You might find the wording of this a little bullshit as well. We'll see how we go.
My understanding from the question that one was that with the upcoming sequel, I thought the sequel's already done, but there's a sequel to it already.
Well, I said with the sequel on. I mean, dude, I didn't think.
It's alright. It's all right.
I mean, hey, don't. I was gonna say don't hate the player, hate the game, but you do hate the game, so that didn't make sense. Has question 10, the final question. If you need a hint on this, I think that's fair enough. But I don't know. I think you'll get it. Tom Cruise was the inspiration for the lead actor's performance in this satirical psychological horror film that is now considered a cult classic.
Say it again, please.
Tom Cruise was the inspiration for the lead actor's performance in this satirical psychological horror film that is now considered a cult classic.
Psychological horror film.
Satirical.
What hint can you give me? Oh, satirical.
Yeah.
What hint can you give me, Dawes?
Let's see. You've without giving it away, it satirizes, if that's a word, yuppie culture.
What's yuppie?
Like young, high-strung businessmen who are just, kind of like dickheads and, just like high rollers and.
Okay. Is it? Oh, okay. Is it Office Space?
Jared Leto's in it.
Jared Leto.
He's not the lead, but he's in it.
Oh, satirical horror. I
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
Office Space.
Is it...
Office Space, satirical horror.
No, sorry. I was just thinking of satire films. Satirical horror. I haven't seen it, but I know Jared Leto is in Requiem for a Dream.
I don't know if that's satirical.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know.
Tom Cruise was the inspiration. So think about Tom Cruise. Think about how he's a bit full on. He's, is he, I don't know, is he a little psycho? Is he a little nuts? Like, and he was the inspiration apparently for this lead actor's performance.
Wow. These questions are bullshit, Dawes. So there's nothing else you can give me. So yeah, I'm like,
it's a satirical, psychological horror film. So it's a dark comedy, I guess.
American Psycho.
Yep, that's it.
Nice. See, I was thinking it's not worded bad at all. That's a good question. But when I think of satire, I think straight away comedy, but it is satirical because it makes fun of that businessman sort of mentality.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why I said 6 out of 10 has. I think, what did I get last week? I think I got 6 out of 10 as well.
You got 6 out of 10. I didn't. I'm gonna include a couple of questions on what movie did I watch in ancient history?
Troy.
No, it was Gallipoli. I'm sorry, dude.
In ancient history.
Yeah, they changed it on though. They ran out of movies. They just put that on.
Right.
Dude,
I tell you what movie we legitimately watched. Maybe by the way, I thought the Remember the Titans question was going to be a softball. Like I could have sworn. Honest to God, I wasn't trying to trick you. Like that was just like a running meme at school, dude. Everyone watching that movie constantly in PE class. I was like,
never watched it.
Then again, I think it was like exclusive to Mr. Mitchell's cast. Did you ever have him? Do you remember him?
No, I remember him. I never had him.
All right. Well, I'll be sure to. Overall, though, what do you reckon? Not bad questions. Maybe a slight little obscure in some.
There was about 3 or 4 that were bullshit.
So honestly, dude, if I'm told specifically, this director was very recently thrust into stardom. I just feel like only one director comes to mind. The dude that swept the Oscars that everyone couldn't shut the fuck up about. I thought it was an easy one. Come on. Recently. Anyway, that's all right. You tried your best. That's all that matters.
Excellent. Dools. Tables have changed again.
Oh, great. You're going to get your revenge. Great.
Absolutely. Dools, close us off.
I've just been doing all the fucking talking. You can close us off.
Thanks, Jules. Well, that's it for another episode of the Mall Cops on Duty podcast. You can find us everywhere on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Every Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday, your main show. Friday, your reviewing discussion show. This Friday, Jules, what are we talking about?
We're reviewing the new Pixar film Onward.
We've both seen it. Did you like it? Dools?
Oh.
Don't answer it. Don't answer it. Don't, shut the fuck up. You'll find that out on Friday whether Dools liked it a lot or not. But thank you for joining me, Dools. And
I should also add, next week we'll be introducing our new segment, Chicken Run to Watch. When's it coming out? Is it coming out? Who knows? But we're gonna keep on top of it every week, and rest assured, we're gonna keep you updated whether this film is actually coming out or not. Until then,
well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. I'm Harry. Dools is Dools. You are you. We're the More Cops on Duty.